you're somebody who is hanging out in Canva all day long, you're not making money. You're not making moves toward your revenue. It may look like it, but it's not.
Welcome back to the Slayer Day podcast. Today, I have my guest, Jenna Quinter. She is a revenue strategist and meta ads expert known for helping service-based entrepreneurs scale fast without overcomplicating their business or sacrificing their family time. As one half of the Revenue Accelerators, she has helped grow local and service-based businesses from $400,000 annually to over 10 million in as little as 18 months through simple and high converting ad systems, irresistible offers, and pipeline building strategies that actually convert. Jenna is a wife and a mama and a business builder. Jenna, welcome to the Slayer Day podcast.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for having me here. And thanks to your audience for joining us and listening.
Yes. Well, I want to jump right in because I know, like for me, especially when I started in business, ads seems like this whole mystical world. If you're not doing it, it can seem very overwhelming. So, what is one misconception that you can just slash today for our viewers, especially for women who maybe have never run ads before?
One misconception I would say is if you can afford a coffee every day, then you can afford to pay for data.
Oh,
Yeah. So a lot of times people they think, okay, let me try to do organic, let me be on all these platforms, let me start with my branding. That's just simply not it at all. Like what I want to say with if you're just starting off and you're established, the first thing you need to do is get really clear and have complete clarity of what you actually offer. Can you explain to your customer, your dream client? Do you even have a dream client? But can you explain to them within one sentence so that they understand exactly what you are offering them? And can a 12-year-old understand it? And I say that because if you're not clear on what your offer is, then you're not even going to be able to create an irresistible offer.
yeah. So, okay, let's say there's someone who's considering doing ads right now. What's the first step that they would take? What would you tell them? How do you set them up for success?
Um, so when I set people up for success, I first go in and I ask them their dream client, like where are they hanging out, who has they who has already purchased from you,
Hmm.
and can you put a name on that girl or that guy? For me, my avatar's name is Claire Monroe. She is smart, she's capable, she's experienced, she's meant for more. She tends to overthink her branding, but she doesn't need to. She doesn't need to live in Canva. She wants elegance, not hustle. And so I want you to get super clear on what your dream client is. And
Hmm.
then we can call them out in the ad because the ad is actually going to do the selling for you.
Nice. And so, what's the first system that usually has to change when you're helping business owners scale?
So a lot of people think they need websites, funnels, perfect branding, but actually you need to have more conversations.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
you're not,
good.
yeah, if you're not ready to, let's say you're chatting with people in the DMs, you're having conversations, or maybe you're not at all. You need to start with just creating more conversations. And then from there,
Hmm.
I wouldn't invest tons of money into websites and branding yet. Yes, there's a time and need for it, but you really want to focus on revenue growth. What's your big money moves, like what
Yeah.
you promote, and what you'll do from there is basically we'll start with running an ad. We will say attention, and then we'll do like a local radius, and
Hmm.
you can either there's a couple different ways that you can do ads. We can do a lead form ad, we can do a messaging campaign, or we can also there's multiple things, but I usually start with messaging campaigns and lead forms. And then what I'll do is I'll drive traffic to a booking calendar. So if you can get set up on some type of calendar, I use Calendly.
Yeah.
I don't care what calendar you use. Set up a calendar and you can run your ad directly to that calendar booking page with the calendar on the very first fold. You want it up top so that they can book right then and there, and maybe put like a good offer at the top with the
Yeah.
calendar.
Ladies, can I be real with you? I'm 38. I get Botox. I'm a busy mom and I do not have time for a 10-step skincare routine. That's why I'm obsessed with Livionde. It's a simple 4-step skincare system that actually works. It starts with a purifying cleanser. It removes the day, the makeup, and the mom life chaos, leaving my skin clear and fresh. Then I go to the vitamin C brightening serum. Instant glow even when I've had zero sleep. Next, I use the hyaluronic restoration cream, a total hydration boost that keeps my skin plump and smooth all day long. And finally, the firming cream. This one's the secret sauce. It visibly tightens, plumps, and renews your skin with the soursop leaf and fruit extracts, the dual peptides, and fruit stem cells. Basically, it helps me stretch those beauty appointments for months. Because as we know, moms deserve skincare that's simple, effective, and makes us feel amazing in our skin. Head to soursopnutrition.com and check out the Livionde skincare system. And don't forget, use code SANDY20 for 20% off your purchase. Livionde Skincare, aging on your terms.
Yeah, so good. So I want you ladies to hear this. It's a lot about successfully running ads is having more quality conversations. And so what I love how Jen is explaining is when you know who already that ideal client, dream client avatar is, it sets you up for success to already get in front of them with paid ads. And as we know, there's organic, right? These are all the things that you're doing that you're not paying for. And then there's paid, which is your paid ads that allow you to take all the data and all the research that you do every day, clicking and signing up for websites and your demographic, and it allows really Meta to go through and do all of that research for you in a way that gets you and the problem that you solve in front of that dream client. So Jenna, what's one mistake that you see business owners making that's costing them revenue? Like, and again, maybe it's like when they first start doing ads, what are they doing? What can they change, or what can they start implementing that's going to set them up for success?
Okay, so I would say the first thing that's going to set you up for success is to know whatever content you're putting out, whether it's organic or because you can start if something pops off organically, then you're probably going to want to run that as an ad,
Mhm.
not just boosting, but actually uh, let face go into the back end of Meta and try a campaign. And I know it probably looks a little scary back there, but you can watch some YouTube tutorials. You can learn anything, or obviously, I can go in and help you if you're having any challenges. But I would say first, you want to decide you want people to decide within the first 60 seconds, is this for me? What do I get out of it? And what do I do next? So you want to
Mhm.
provide clarity of your offer. Is it even for somebody? How can they, what are they going to get in order for them to give you their name, phone number, and email? And then what do you want them to do next? Do you want them to have a conversation? Do you just want them to watch a video? Do you want them to be chatting with you in a DM? Or do they want to have a phone call with you to get a
Mhm.
free estimate or quote, depending on what kind of services
Yeah.
you're offering?
Yeah.
And
Now you know that I am all about building out the systems and making sure that we work smarter, not harder. And with ads, this is a great way to do that. And I want to ask you, how do you build a predictable revenue pipeline without being glued to your phone? Because if we're getting all these leads coming in, what do we do with them? What is your strategy that you help your clients with as you're helping them build out more clients, more prospects? Do you have a system or a strategy that you help your clients not only build more with the ads, but then help them so they're not just stuck to their phone all day long?
yeah, absolutely. So, working with you, obviously, it's so important to have a system in place and to have some type of pipeline flow. Um, so for instance, you're going to want to have clear offer, which then it's going to take them into booking onto your calendar. And so the ad is actually selling, and then your job is to close. And if you aren't good at sales or closing, then you need to hire a sales lady or guy to do the
Mhm.
closing for you, because I guarantee you that's a weak spot that you could be losing tons of capital with. Because a lot of times when somebody is not ready to run an ad, they'll blame that, they'll do the ads like, oh, I tried ads before. But
Right.
really, it wasn't the ad that didn't succeed. It was maybe your sales process. Like, do you even have a
Mhm.
sales process? Do you have a script built in?
Yep.
Have you created a script based on talking to your dream client? And then what's the follow up with that? And then
Yep.
do you even have a texting campaign set up? So those are the things that I like to take people on a journey of, is when they opt in, do they get how within the first 5 minutes they need to be spoken to, because when a lead gets old, it gets cold.
Yeah.
So having somebody set in place to call those up, whether it's you or somebody else, so you need to be the closer, and that's how you're going to set yourself up to be a strong operator in your business.
Yeah. And what I love too, Jenna, is especially like in the beginning of my business, and even today, I mean, I do this today. I'm on calls with clients, right? And so I know what they're struggling with. I know what the pain points are. And that's actually like a secret weapon for you, right? As a business owner, you get to go deeper in those pain points and actually refine the way that you're running your ads or refine what your offer is, because if you're not in it and you're so far removed from what people actually want and that what that transformation is, it's going to be hard for you to obviously understand. So being on those calls, sales calls, I don't care how seasoned you are in business, it's so good to keep fresh in there and relevant, because that is going to help with the entire process.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I know for me, I always struggled with, it seemed overwhelming to want to have a conversation with somebody, but in all reality, they're just human and they just
Right.
need help. And if you can just
Right.
be the person that listens to them and really listens, and you have your core offer, then, and you're not just creating something custom, um, you're going to be able to take them from their hell to their heaven within a certain amount of time, and
Hmm.
give them that transformation. And
Yeah.
then when that lead comes in, and or the person comes into the conversation, I personally really love messenger ads, because yes, with I like to respond within the first 5 minutes, just because uh, the revenue that you're going to make on the front end actually just, I, I think it's like a crazy amount of time. I'm not going to give percentages right now, but you just have a higher percentage of getting the business when you talk within the first 5 minutes. But once you talk to them, hear them out, go through, kind of like assess them as if you're a doctor. When you go
Yeah.
into a doctor's office, they have their questions for you. You want to look at their business, or them, and assess their needs, and then
Yeah.
you're able to hit their pain points and help them have that transformation.
Can we just talk about how bedtime used to be for us? Oh my gosh, you guys, I was hanging off one side of the bed. My kids were laying sideways across the entire bed. And my husband, he was literally falling off the bed. Don't even get me started on the stiff necks. We were actually at the chiropractor more than we were sleeping. We just thought that we had to deal with it until we found Alaskan King bed. Now we can actually co-sleep without the kids kicking us all night long. Everyone has plenty of space, and my husband finally stays in the bed. And we all wake up feeling refreshed, like we actually slept the whole night, because we did. If you're a growing family like us, this bed is a total game changer. More space equals more snuggles, less stress, and so much more quality time. And that was the true reason why we fell in love with this bed. Trust me, you will never go back. So head on over to AlaskanKingBeds.com and use code Sandi for a discount. Wishing you and your family sweet dreams from my family to yours. Make sure you head over to AlaskanKingBeds.com. Yeah. I want to talk about this too, because I went through this trap of working with someone with ads that was not successful. And I'll tell you why. We, at the time, this was probably, we're in 2026. This is probably 4 years ago. We're running ads to a high ticket offer.
Oh,
Let's talk about the difference between running to something free to something low ticket versus a high ticket offer.
okay. So Yeah, a lot of times people they run ad to something insane. I mean, we all want to make money and money fast, but it really happens in the slow and steady
Mm-hmm.
consistency build. And that's also why people struggle with scaling because it's looks it should feel more exciting, but it's boring. But in order for you to sell a high ticket option, a lot of time you need to have build that trust.
Mm-hmm.
And the note you've heard it before, know, like, and trust.
Yep.
Um,
And
usually,
unless someone knows you really, really well, they're
yeah,
not going to be buying a high ticket offer with a click of a
but
button unless they're already warmed and ready to go.
I would say that so if the highest ticket offers anywhere from 2,000 to 50,000, you're going to do
Mm-hmm.
really well on YouTube,
Yeah.
the long form content, because it builds trust. It's going to take a longer time for them to convert from
Mm-hmm.
the first time they meet you, but when they're ready, you will be the person that they call.
Yeah.
The more so Meta and Facebook is meant for higher intent, somebody that already has a problem, somebody that's already knows that they need to get their
And it's
root
probably been
business
watching you. It's been
back.
watching your Instagram, your YouTube, like wherever channels, you provide content. So yeah, I
It's
mean, hopefully
now
that's
for the high ticket, I would recommend something like what is if you're, for instance, if you're speaking on stage and you know that moment when you have a slide on stage and everybody pulls out their camera and they take a
mm-hmm.
picture, you know for a fact that that's the piece of information that somebody wants. And so if you can figure out how to package that maybe in a
Right.
freebie offer, like a premium, just to get them to opt in to want to do business with you, you can
Yeah.
send them that PDF. You'll get their name, phone number, and email, and then you can nurture
Nurture.
them in the emails. And then also on social media, organically, what I like to do is I'll start off on TikTok, and the only link that I have on TikTok is my Instagram page, because TikTok is not really for
So you're
closing.
funneling them over.
Yep. TikTok is more for people to discover you. And so you're going to want to post your first videos, ads, test your ads on TikTok. Let them discover you there, and then drive traffic to your Instagram by putting the link in your bio, nothing else. And then you'll nurture people in your Instagram stories and your
Mm-hmm.
post on Instagram. And then, of course, um, like I said, organic traffic is going to be longer to collect data on your client. Running ads is just going to catapult you to understand what your clients want and don't
Yeah.
want. But with the high ticket offers, also creating maybe like a free Facebook page, you can run an ad for very pennies. Actually, I ran a couple ads for my own Facebook group and grew it to like 400 people within a week of just saying, "Hey, join um, my free business minded
Mhm.
Facebook group for
Well, and
ladies."
this is what I want you to talk about because I think, again, I think if you've never done ads before,
Mhm.
it can be very overwhelming. Where I have seen the most success is actually not even running to an offer, more so running to something of value that's your lead magnet or your freemium. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it is a piece of content. We teach this in the High Performance Academy where you create something of value, of actually very high value that someone would want to exchange and pay you for. You give it for free in exchange for the name, phone number, email. Now you can nurture them on your list. But guess what? Now they know you. And then you get to go down the know, like, and trust ladder and then build more into your long form videos. Maybe it's your podcast, maybe it's your YouTube channel. And now they're really getting to know you and into your ecosystem. So let's talk about that for a minute. I want to shed some light because again, I think it's almost like you have to dabble in the thing that first that that will build you so you can see the results. And if you can start there by growing your list, that is an unlimited, untapped earning potential if you
Yeah.
do it correctly.
If you had that, I love working with clients that already have a list because I can run a lookalike audience campaign,
Yeah.
mimic your same client,
Audience. Yeah. Client.
and
Exactly.
then
Avatar.
and then once they've already received the ad, then I can do a retargeting campaign. So they just keep seeing you over and over again. And those are those videos that are like, hey, I saw you clicked on that ad, but you didn't do anything.
All right, Jenna. Well, I want to pivot and I want to actually talk to you about what it's like running a business and also being a wife and a mama. So, how has building a business while also raising a family, you have a daughter, shaped the way that you scale? Tell us what that looks like. Obviously, we're all working moms here on this Layer Day podcast. So, I want to hear, what are your days look like? How are you juggling the work, the baby, the wife mode, all the things?
So, oh my goodness, I don't. I'm trying to. I definitely believe I do not want to have a routine, but it is so important to have a routine in place. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that you've said in the past, have your three anchored goals.
Yeah.
If
The
I
three
can
big money moves every
just
day.
hit those things where it's my working out, talking to a client, and playtime with my daughter, then I feel like I've won for the day.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
is really is hard to balance, and that's a personal choice for me personally. I'm in a slower season where, and I
Yeah.
not, I would say I've been also in a build season where normally I don't focus on branding, but because my daughter is so little and I love spending time with her,
Of
I
course.
I have been building more of my personal brand, but to be completely open about what you can actually do with an ad is technically it doesn't need to be anything fancy. You can throw up a black and white text. You can write on a chalkboard your offer and run an ad to that, and it could just be super
Hmm.
successful. So
Which,
for
which,
me,
what a great tool to have as a busy working mom, right? If you're like, I need to maximize the time that I have. I only have, and I remember the days, when my babies were like little. I mean, they're 5 and 8 right now, so they're in school. But when I was like, I only have like the max would be like 2 hours a day,
yeah,
right? And I was like, okay, in these 2 hours, this is where the big money moves came from. Like when everyone's like, oh my gosh, how do you like hit your goals and reach them so fast? It came from having kids and when my babies were little and I only had maybe 2 hours, maybe not even that a day to actually move the needle, right? Because we get so overwhelmed with all the things we need to do. Actually, this morning, I made the boys breakfast. And after I made breakfast, I are like dinner's already in the crock pot. Like it's already
I
it's
love it.
it's
Yeah.
working, it's doing its thing. So, just like cooking a dinner or cooking breakfast, right? When you're doing ads, it's like you're setting your future self up for success because you're reaching people that technically, which again I talk about all the time on all my content, like you don't have to be actively working it for it to work.
Right. And
Like glued to your computer for it to work.
when you have the system set in place, then absolutely. Uh,
Yes.
right now, it just depends. It depends on where you're at. You know that I know I have some friends that are single moms and they never get a break, and then I have friends that are. I mean, I'm happily married, so I have a husband that is very supportive, and I I feel blessed that I get to be in, like, I guess have this, like, this is my dream life. Like I designed my life to be like this. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up for those of you who don't know, I actually grew up on a little farm in East Texas, 1,300 people. So living in Florida is so different than my life now. And ever since I had kids, I realized how much time I wasted in the past. And so
Yeah.
it is
I always say, like I talk about it in
it
both my
is that
books. I'm like,
one
my kids are my superpower. Like they will put a fire underneath of you and time management will never look the same after you have kids because you
yeah.
really understand where you need to show up and where you need to be.
And my word of the year is focus. And so in the
Mm-hmm.
past, I think I was avoiding wanting to take action because I knew I was going to get sales because I do know ads, so it is easy
Yeah.
for me to turn something on and get clients. So if you're somebody who is hanging out in Canva all day long, you're not making moves towards your revenue. It may look like it, but it's not. So I want to give you permission to get out of Canva, test a campaign, an ad campaign, go on YouTube and learn it, or
Or call Jenna.
call
Reach out to Jenna, and then you'll figure it out for us.
with the mommy life, I take her out on her dates, or she goes to school 3 times a week. So my 3 days a week is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then
Mhm.
that's my grind time is when she's gone. And then so
Yep.
I would say that there's not tons of balance, but I definitely put a priority on working out every day, because it's my
Yeah.
health. And that's one other thing I want to talk about. So many of us put so much importance on looking good, but we don't actually give ourselves the authority to put importance on our finances. And that's another thing I want to give you permission to. Like, you're buying fancy bags, put $1,000 towards ad spend,
Hmm.
because you can 10x your business. Let's say you do a $10 ad, and it's very successful. If you start running that same ad with $100 a day, it's going to catapult you. But you got to be
Yeah.
ready to scale too, and
Yeah.
with that. So
Yeah. Amazing. So I know that you have a client that you worked with. I'd love for you to share that you said that you worked with her. She started running ads, and then like I think you said she had to like turn them off or pause them because she was so successful with all the clients that she was that were actually reaching out to her. So tell me a little bit about that client. What did that look like? Had she ever run ads before? Like what was that client's customer journey?
yeah, absolutely. So I had a client named Amy, and actually she still is my client. She signed back up again.
Way
That's
to go, Amy.
Yeah. So hi, Amy. It's very common for somebody who's a small business owner, like a local small biz, whether roofer, uh, like a roofer contractor, a cleaning company, just any local service pros, even like lashes
Any
girls, my
local business
beauty,
owner.
yeah,
Yeah, for
local
sure.
businesses, your brick and mortar businesses. Um, Basically, so what I did for Amy was she saw my ad. She had never run ads before. She's a little nervous, but
How did she find you? She saw your ad.
she saw my ad.
She saw your
I
ad, and
did a
that's how
video,
she found you.
and
What was the ad that you ran?
I'll be honest. I keep saying I'll be honest. I need a new word. The ad I ran was a video of me talking in my backyard next to some bushes, and
Okay.
I was like in a tank top. And I know when I targeted females, they actually were a little tough on me. So a
Oh,
lot of
girl, I ran ads and I had white jeans on with my kids, and they're like, "What mom is out there playing with her kids in white jeans?" Like, I'm like, dude.
I want you to know that that's a successful ad, though. When you're having people engaging with you, you can take it's bad press is good press.
Yeah,
So you can
yeah.
take
I was like, we're on the same team here.
that. Think of your ad as your personal tabloid, like you're famous. Okay.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden people are kind of trolling on you. Occasionally you'll get an ad where everybody just is obsessed, and that's like the best ad ever. But
Yeah,
usually
that's where your hair is a mess
yeah,
and you look, and people are like, "Oh
relatable.
yeah, I can relate to that."
Yeah, when you're relatable, it does help, especially if you're running an ad, like you're promoting
Yes.
a team. Or if I don't normally like to have people put their kids in their ads, but putting kids in the ads with you does help. So if it's like a teen
Mhm.
family
And
thing,
not making it perfect. I think that's important to
yeah,
mention too. Like
you
the
really don't.
more perfect it is, actually
It's easier.
the worse it does.
Yeah, that's why, like in the beginning, for instance, my husband, he would start off with like dog hair all over him. We were in an apartment, and that's where he built his business. So
Wow.
you just, if you're leaving a baseball game or you get that idea and it pops off, and you're like, oh, I'm not ready to make a video right now. That's when you need to make the video. That is
Which
when you
is
need
so
to.
great for us ladies because the hair, the makeup, the lashes, the tan, it's like, oh my gosh, it's actually way less work than we think it is, or like we make it.
Right. And okay, so back to Amy, what I did was I had her create a video. Actually, no, no, I did that one. I did later. I actually did a selfie campaign. So I had her take a photo of her holding like a sponge, and I ran a special offer. And if you don't know how to build your irresistible offer, look at the magazines, look at the mailers that you're getting, look at Groupon. That's my secret tip, by the
Yeah.
way. go to Groupon, and let's say you are a med spa, go see what your competitors are running in the med spa
Mhm.
industry. And if over 500 people purchase that Groupon, then that is probably going to be a really good ad, and you need to mimic
Yeah.
that. Just like they say, be great, like become an artist at mimicking with your organic. They say try not to reinvent the
Model, mimic,
wheel.
master. Yeah.
The same thing with ads, make it irresistible, meaning just copy what works, and then maybe add a little bit of your own sparkle into it. But with her, we did a special offer to get somebody into the door, to get her into the door. And
So like something that they get as like an upgrade or something that they get. What was it?
yeah, it was a special price.
Okay.
I do a lot of I create custom offers for a lot of my clients. Like for instance, there was one real estate agent who was giving Louis Vuitton bags if they
Wow.
purchased a house from them. Now I think he had to do it as a gift,
Okay.
but he got known as the Louis
Louis
Vuitton
Vuitton.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever juicy offer that you can create that is so, Alex Hormozy talks about it, that is so stupid for somebody to not opt in,
Right.
that's what you need to create. And also challenges, or giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of photographers that I've worked with also will do a family photographer giveaway.
Which is
And
great because, by the way, if you do anything like any service in the family space, you know that mom is going to be using you multiple times throughout the year. Birthday parties, anniversaries, for work, for personal, professional. Like it's really building the relationship.
right, the revenue happens once you meet the person.
Yeah.
I, sometimes don't. I also want you to be aware, if your ladies to be aware, if once they get on the conversation, their only goal is to have a discussion. Not, there is a difference
Not a
between,
coaching session.
yeah, right, coaching's not a coaching session. It's, you also, you can wean out your, you can
Candidates.
be picky about who you want to work with. I'm
Yep.
not talking about that. What I'm talking about is, for instance, Amy, I was coaching her and I said, hey, we're not discussing square footage when
Mm,
they opt in. Your only goal is to show up, do a quick clean to give them those wow moments, and then you drop off a pricing menu so that you can upsell for the next booking, or you give
yeah.
them a discount on the next one, because you can actually, that's when you can stack and
Hmm.
even generate more income and revenue is on the back end by
Right.
offering additional services, because they already know, like, and trust you.
And the great thing with that too is it's just a taste, as you're mentioning. It's not the full service. So that way it's very easy for them. And I know for me, like my life is so full. There's so many things going on. When I find someone that I like, know, and trust, I I never let them go because I'm like, I don't want to have to go find a new person to do my hair. I don't want to have to find a new person to do my nails. I don't want to have to find a new person to take my kids to get their haircuts. Like you stick with it, right? So it's great because it gets you in the door and then the introduction and then you can build from there. So good.
Absolutely.
So final question that I have for you. If someone listening wants to double their revenue this year, we're at the beginning of January 2026, what's the very first move they should make right now when they're considering ads?
All right. So it goes back to, if I can afford a cup of coffee, if I can afford a luxury bag, I can afford to pay for data.
Having ads,
And
yeah.
what I want, the action steps that I want your ladies to do would be, first, pick one money action. So do they want to have a discovery call? Do they want to chat in the DMs? Or,
Find out where you want to take them.
mhm,
Where
yep.
do you want that person to go?
And then, do you want to talk to them on the phone, or do you have a team that can do the follow up? Because you need to be on it. It really is speed. That's where everybody loses their money, is when the lead comes in. If they're not called within the first 5 minutes, then
Hmm.
you,
So allocate a team or time.
yep, it's a team or time. I want you to apply the 60-second test, which is this for them? What are they going to get, and where are they going to go?
Okay.
So is this for me? What do I get by working with you? And then what happens next? Am I supposed to book a phone call? Am I supposed to receive a phone call? So if you can get really clear on that every single time you post, whether it's a paid ad or organic,
Okay.
you will always win. And
Amazing.
then I want you to start off with a small budget. It could be $5 a day. It could be $10 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Test it out. We are not targeting on the back end. You let Meta target for you. And what I mean by that is you say, for instance, if you live in Boca Raton, Florida, you can say, attention, Boca Raton, Florida. We're having a pink Porsche Pilates event coming up. If you want to join in, get your ticket now, $99. But wait, if you buy today, then we will throw in a
A swag
custom
bag.
Porsche bag or something. Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then drive that to a booking page. So that's
Amazing.
you want to create, you want to call out your audience attention at the very top of almost every post. I mean, you don't have to do it every single time, but that's how the algorithm is going to pick up also who you're wanting to work with.
Yeah.
Um, and also, Meta, I was learning something the other day. They on Meta works really well is long captions. So if you
Interesting.
can get into the psychology of somebody's brain, like let's say there's a you're a lawyer and you understand
The
who
terminology.
the terminology is, the woman that has bought her estate planning from you before. If you can understand exactly what she likes, where she lives, and then you can break that down. Like, I know you were at shopping at Neiman Marcus last week. You know, like you can, if you
Mm-hmm.
can get so good at knowing your dream client that you can write it in the copy and make extreme long copy on Meta, and that's going to also help with the SEO of the ad. But
That makes sense.
that's something that would help them as well. And then at the end, obviously decide who closes. Is it going to be you or is it going to be somebody on your team?
Amazing. Jenna, thank you so much for being here today. We are going to link all your information below, but please share with the audience where they can find you and connect with you.
Yes, I would love to connect with you ladies. I'm so happy that you had me on today. My Instagram is Jenna Quinter. So that's Quinter. Right here. I think it's on the screen.
Yep.
And you can visit me on jennaquinter.com. I do have a free playbook on there. But
She's got the free playbook.
if you ran ads and you just want me to take a look at it, I'm happy to do so. My husband has a Google course, but I I firmly believe in just wanting to help you
Mhm.
sell and grow. I'm not in it for, I mean, we all want to make money, but my goal is first to get you results. So much so that
Amazing.
I've worked with clients and I will even give a money back guarantee if I don't get you sales. And so that's something I pride myself of because I want you to get booked and banked in 48 hours. And
Love it.
that's my goal to work with the ladies.
Amazing. Well, Jenna, thank you so much for being here today. Ladies, if you're interested in running ads, reach out to Jenna. She'll set up a call with you and let's get rocking and rolling, booked and bank in 2026.
My girl, believe it, build it, bank it. Let's go.
There we go. As always, ladies, make sure you go out and slay your day.